The wannabe dictator posted this yesterday regarding Washington, D.C. The homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the capital. That's not news, of course. No one is surprised. If there's one thing constant about the human race, it's that those who shit into golden toilets hate poor people. But I'm not talking about that guy today. I kept hearing people say how Chinese cities solved homelessness. Well, this is what happened. This is how China solved homelessness. Except the Chinese president doesn't post it on social media. It's always a carrot and stick combination. Right? If you are homeless, you can get some sort of economic assistance if you agree to live out of sight. If not, well, it's not exactly a crime, but you can be sure the police will harass the shit out of you until you give up. That's exactly the playbook Donald is adopting. So do me a favor. Next time when you travel to China's big cities, instead of glorifying the lack of homeless tents, you need to keep in mind the human cost. At least in my dictionary, telling people they can't be seen is not called help. Politically, China's playbook does work because the spoiled American brats who travel there only go to the big cities. They're like, whoa, so nice and clean. Maybe we should have a dictatorship like that. Hey, do you know which city is also nice and clean? The capital in the Hunger Games. Yup, keeping poor people in the districts. That's what China has been doing and what the Trump administration is trying to do. One thing I want to mention particularly is that the poor people in China are not only kept out of sight from the tourists, they're also kept out of sight from the internet. Someone asked me, are you claiming those happy Chinese people on Red Note is fake? No, they're not fake. Of course they're happy people. But the unhappy people who want to complain are deplatformed. If you want to have effective propaganda, you don't always have to proactively make happy content. Making content is hard. It's more efficient to just create a sampling bias by getting rid of the negative content. I used to post a lot of Chinese language content on Weibo and some other places. And those accounts disappeared faster than the homeless people. I don't know if you remember, a few years back, TikTok still had some rural Chinese videos that showed some pretty striking poverty. But now it seems that they're just all gone. I remember seeing this man who cooked in his tiny bedroom/kitchen. He would just whip out a chopping board from under his bed sheet and just start cooking silently. I actually learned some chopping skills from him. And I remember some comments were like, I don't discriminate against the poor, but at least you should keep yourself clean. Oh God. I want to challenge those judgmental fucks to keep themselves clean without a washing machine. Cleaning is costly, guys. Anyway, I just don't see those accounts anymore. Maybe they're still there, but the algorithm won't let me see them. I also remember this young woman who always hang out with a buffalo, doing some farm work together. And she never had a single word in the videos. Sometimes she just sat there and cried. I don't see that account anymore. I suppose the local party's secretary probably had a chat with her. Occasionally, I still find clips like these, but they always add some super motivational captions, probably to trick the censorship. That's pretty smart. Some people say it's offensive to post these images. On the contrary, I think it's offensive to deny their existence. I'm not posting them to diss anyone. Okay, I just need to warn you that dictatorship is not the answer to poverty. What are you thinking? This fantasy about Chinese socialism is just laughable. You can't measure a country's living standard with TikTok images. Ultimately, you have to look at the macro level data because images can be cherry-picked. And China's macro level data still do not look good by any measure. Average income, average living space, average meat consumption, average purchasing power, none of those look remotely flattering. And China doesn't even publish median income, which would be way worse than the average income because of the stratification of the Chinese society. Again, Google the hukou system. So there's no magic bullet to poverty, guys. Dictators can scam so many people and take over so many countries exactly because people believe in magic bullets. They believe them because they want to believe them. It's time to wake the fuck up and preserve whatever freedom America still has.